How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping the fourth video of today. Fucking hell, I've not dropped 4 videos since probably last summer or something. Right, guys, so this video, you saw the pictures at the beginning, a selection of gangsters and stuff that I've known and like come into contact with and stuff through when I used to be involved in that criminal underworld and stuff. I've been very blessed and very honoured to have been involved in that world and stuff, and met with these people and partied with these people and just been in the company of these people. You might know some of the faces, you might not. If you know who they are, then you know who you are. You know who they are, don't you? If you don't, then you don't. Not everyone's in like watches crime and the gangster programs and everything. Some people do, some people don't. But like I say, I've been very blessed and honoured and humbled to be friends with some of these people, to party with them, and just to say that you know some of the most dangerous people about. It's just one of those things. Now, the thing is with the gangsters and stuff like that, you've always got, in any line of work, or if you, like I say, you've always got haters, haven't you? Whether you're famous, whether you're Joe Public, whether you do videos on fucking YouTube like I do, just a lot of people are you get trolled and stuff and idiots and everything. And obviously a lot of people are like sheep and believe everything they read in the media about these people. And like I say, the best way to judge somebody is don't prejudge them. Don't go off what somebody else says. Simple. Judge them for yourself, right? Now, at the beginning of the video, you saw an old man, a short guy that I had my arm around and stuff, right? That guy, right, might not look like much, right, to you, right? He might just look like an old man, right? When I was growing up as a kid, right, I've always grown up with these fascination with serial killers, gangsters, gangs and stuff like that. I went on to be involved with all of the above, right? But like I say, the guy that I had my arm around, right, when I was growing up, when I was in like secondary school and stuff, in like year 7, year 8, year 9, we believed this man and his gang to be a myth. It wasn't real. Oh, listen, have you heard of that Quality Street gang, right? The gang were known as the Quality Street gang, or the QSG, right? Now, they ran Manchester in the 50s and 60s and stuff, right? The guy that's in the picture was one of the leaders. That's Jimmy the Weed. Thin Lizzy actually sang a song dedicated to the gang called "The Boys Are Back in Town," right? And the man in the video, the man in the picture with me is was him with his brother. His brother is called Arthur Donnelly, and he's called Jimmy the Weed Donnelly, right? And Jimmy the Weed was his nickname and stuff. But they used to run Manchester in the 50s and the 60s and stuff. They was very well respected, very well known. They had all the pubs and clubs on lockdown and stuff like that. They had them all on. Everything was boxed, yeah. If there was ever a problem, the club owners will get hold of the gang. The gang will go and sort it out and stuff. Jimmy's a published author and stuff like that. He was born in Ancoats. He still lives in Ancoats here in Manchester. And when we was up at his gaff, right, he was actually trying to sell us, mobility scooters, right? He had 2 mobility scooters, right? Spends a lot of time over in Thailand and stuff. Got a few women on the go over in Thailand. He might be getting old and stuff, right? But he's fucking very, very well respected. It was an absolute honour and a privilege to have been in his company and stuff like that. I've still got his number and everything like that, but he spends his time between Ancoats and obviously Thailand and everything. But him and his gang, absolutely legendary. They was on call when the Craze came to Manchester and stayed at the Midland Hotel, which is still there to this day. Jimmy and the gang were on standby. The Craze came up. They were staying at the Midland Hotel, which is still there, and they wanted to branch out. The Craze wanted to take over Manchester. They wanted to extend out of London and cast their net further and stuff. And Jimmy and the lads were aware that they was in town, and they was on standby should it have gone off. Now, the Craze were obviously notorious and everything, and you've had legend made about him, the film with Tom Hardy and stuff like that, where he played both Reggie and Ronnie and stuff like that. But the Quality Street gang Trust me, we're not to be underestimated. Very dangerous, very naughty, ran protection rackets, fucking racketeering. They had the things in all sorts of pies, right? Absolute gentlemen. Like I said, I was involved with a Gooch gang here in Manchester. I was the head doorman at a club in Legends in Ashton-under-Lyne. They was in the club. They wanted to sell drugs in the club. I'd just been made head doorman, and yeah, I just became friends with them and stuff. I used to take drugs off people, sell them to the gang. I'd be making money, they'd be making money, they were giving me backhanders. I went on to run with them. I had food, was selling coke on a door for them, all that sort of miver. And then in 2007, 11 of them got sent down for 235 years between them. 2 murders, firearms, drugs, just fucking attempted murder, firearms, ammunition, all that sort of stuff, right? That was that. Yeah, and then like I said, then I was running the doors in Manchester, took over my own door and that, and then I was standing there on the door, and then I looked down, and Dominic Noonan, gangster from Manchester. Again, some people troll him and some people say horrible shit about him. Again, don't believe everything you read. And then Dominic came down, and he'd been knocked back from a few venues. We let him in. Swapped numbers, went out for food with him a few days later, was by his side as loyal friend for 5 years, been to prison. The first time I ever went to prison was as Dominic's co-defendant on a witness intimidation. Great guy, funniest guy you'll ever meet in your life. We had some funny stories, man. I was on a dating app, was chatting to a bird. This was this was years ago. I was chatting to a bird, and she was like, I said, "Oh, I'm just with the boys," and she said, "Oh, well, why don't you come and pick me up off the street and you can all fuck me," right? Now, I told this to the boys, yeah, so we was like, right, we're going to go and fuck her, right? So we went to Charlton, right? I'd not spoken to this bird on the phone or nothing, just swapping messages. We turned up where she told us to turn up, right? And then I was like, trying to ring her, no answer. Then she answered, she goes, "I don't even know why I'm doing this. I'm a guy." And I was like, oh my God, right? Dominic's bisexual, and after they dropped me off, him and one of the other lads went back and ended up scuttling this fucking transvestite. Just goes on that way. Dominic was supposed to be writing a book and stuff. He's currently in prison serving in 11 and a half years and stuff on, I think it was perverting the cause of justice. What else was it? In threats, intimidation, and perverting the cause of justice and stuff. So yeah, so I was with Dominic a long time. We had some absolutely fantastic times. Through being involved with Dominic, I was on a documentary about Dominic and stuff like that. In the eyes of the police, I'd never say this, but in the eyes of the police, I was Dominic's minder, if you will. I don't buy into all that shit. I'm nobody, me. Just a big lump. I was loyal to him. And like I say, I was his witness. I was his co-defendant on a witness intimidation. It was an absolute stitch up. I eventually got bail, and then his charges were dropped and stuff like that. So that was the end of that. Met some fantastic people through him. Great guy, still speak highly of him. Even though I'm no longer in contact with him and stuff, I wish him all the best and stuff. We went together to the University of Birmingham, to BCU. Dominic was put under the spotlight and asked questions by Professor David Wilson, who's a world-renowned criminologist and stuff. So that was cool, man. That was very interesting and stuff. He climbed the big wheel in Manchester. That was my idea. He was going to recall him to prison for the last 48 hours. We took over the big wheel in Manchester. It was a big thing. He stayed up there for 6 hours in the pissing down rain, the sun. Stopped traffic, buses. There was evacuations, everything, guys. It was mental. That was that. So yeah, so that was that. Dominic was a great guy. Like I said, I spent a lot of time around him. I was with him pretty